What's up guys, Brian, otherwise known as Slow Speeds, back with another video. Today we're going to do a video on my 2020 Ram 2500 Lone Star Night Edition Cummins Turbo Diesel. That's a tongue twister right there in itself. But today we're going to do a video on the initial ownership review. I've driven 1,500 miles. I've owned it for a couple months now. I'm going to do an initial ownership review going to a 3/4 ton from a half ton. I've owned a 2020 Ram 1500 before this one with the Hemi 5.7 e-torque. I'll put a clip right here showing you guys my brand new truck, my 2020 Ram 1500 Laramie Sport. It is in a ivory white color, so it's like a tri-coat pearl. Looks sweet. And then as well, the engine is the 5.7 Hemi, but it does have the e-torque options. And I've owned a 2019 F-150 STX with the 5.0 Coyote prior to the Ram 1500. Put a video right here. Damn, there it is. 2019 F-150 5.0 10-speed in Oxford white. And then now we own a Ram 2500 Cummins Turbo Diesel. So we're going to do the initial ownership review for anyone that's potentially considering going up to a 2500 from a 1500 model or a F-150 to an F-250, and how it is living day-to-day life, because this is my daily driver. And to be quite frank with you, I didn't honestly need a 2500. I kind of convinced myself I did when I really didn't, but I'm beyond happy with my choice, so let's get into it. Also, if you guys could do me a huge favor, go ahead, hit that subscription button, like the video, and leave a comment with any constructive criticism you guys might have. So first off, I'd like to include that I didn't have an issue with either my F-150 or my Ram. I loved both those trucks. I'd still be very happy today if those were the trucks I had to drive every day. My F-150 had an oil consumption issue, so my hands were tied, so I decided to move on, go to a different platform. Second off, the 1500 was great. It looked great. It drove super smooth. The 8-speed transmission in those, I couldn't even feel them shift. And then with an addition of the e-torque on the Ram 1500, like the auto stop start, all that stuff, you didn't even feel. The truck drove super smooth. I was very happy with my choices. But I'm a car guy. I'm a truck guy. I like the newest, greatest. I'm always looking at different vehicles, and I kind of found a way to convince myself I needed a 2500. How did I do that? I have a turbo Mustang that I make videos on as well. In my head, I want to travel a bunch, go racing a bunch. And my 1500, we're gonna focus on the 1500 because the F-150, I kind of got rid of it because the oil consumption issue. So that wasn't even the truck I was trading in for this, so I don't really need to include that one in this content. But so my Ram 1500 drove super smooth. It was super nice, but it had 321 gears. So it had like an 8,500 tow capacity, 8,500 pound tow capacity, which just towing a Mustang and a simple trailer, definitely doable. But that truck up top, it left a lot to be desired. I hadn't got the chance to tow with it yet because I don't own my personal trailer. I'd rent one, but once we start getting the build a little further, we've been 9.25 mile. But one day I hope to be running 8s with that car, going to a bunch of different races. And I wanted a truck that was going to be more long-term, because if I ever bought an enclosed trailer or something, which I hopefully will in the future, the 1500 probably would have struggled quite a bit, because up top, as I said, it left a lot to be desired. I could only imagine if it was towing a trailer, how that thing would drive. So I told myself I should probably get a 2500. I definitely could have went to an F-150 or even a new 1500 with the 392 gears. But in my head, my mind, I was like, if I'm going to go ahead and spend the money, I might as well get something that's future-proof. So we ended up with this 2500. All right, guys, now that we figured out that I kind of convinced myself into buying something I didn't necessarily need, I also want to point out, I love the way these trucks look. In my car enthusiast, truck enthusiast mind, I'm like, this looks badass. I want this. So on top of having more capability, I also think it's a better looking platform. We're going to start our build on this shortly. That's why I want to do this initial ownership review. I'm happy with the purchase. But the truck is driven perfectly. A lot of people have complaints about these transmissions. Mine hasn't had any issues. It drives pretty smoothly. That being said, my 1500, the 8-speed in the Ram 1500 drove way better. Well, not that this one drives horrible. It was definitely smoother in the 1500. And I was also concerned about ride quality going to, because I test drove an F-250, a 2019 before I ever even, this was like a year ago. And it definitely rode a lot rougher than my F-150 did at the time. That's what I owned at the time when I drove that F-250. I kind of stick to the same brand, I guess, when I own something. I've owned 3 Mustangs and an F-150, and then I bought a Ram 1500, and now we have a Ram 2500. So I guess I follow in my own footsteps, I guess. So I was looking at F-250 at the time. It drove a lot rougher, and then as I was convincing myself I needed a diesel, or didn't need a diesel, I wanted a diesel, I was concerned about the ride quality, but I was like, I like the way these look a lot better, and it's a lot more capable, so I was like, I can sacrifice the ride quality. That being said, the 2500s, I believe, are on coils opposed to leaf springs in the 3500, and I really didn't notice a difference in ride quality at all. It drives just as smooth, and maybe that has something to do with this has the 4x4 off-road package with Bilstein shocks, and my 1500 did not have any kind of off-road package, but the ride quality is super comparable, super smooth. The only thing is this drives a bit more mechanical. You can feel the truck a bit more, the transmission shifts than the 8-speed, but I don't mind that. I'm a car and truck guy. I don't mind feeling what my truck's doing, so I'm enjoying it so far. Another thing I was potentially concerned about was the size of this truck. It is quite a bit larger. I can't speak. It is quite a bit larger than my 1500, so this is my daily driver. I drive it every day to and from work, take it through drive-thrus, park it wherever I need to park it, so it is quite a bit larger than a 1500, but it has parking sensors. My 1500 did as well. This does not have 360 camera as some of the larger trucks do, or some of the higher spec trucks do. I was balling on a budget, so we didn't get that option. That'd make it a breeze, trust me. But I haven't had any issues. You gotta take a couple more seconds or be a little bit more aware when you're going through a drive-thru or parking the truck. But it fits through everything. The 1500 did. You just gotta maneuver it a bit different. Make sure you're not hitting anything. Well, you always have to make sure you're not hitting anything. But you just gotta be more aware of your surroundings. The 1500, I got to the point where I could just drive it like a car, park it wherever I wanted, pull in. This truck, I just gotta make sure I'm not hitting anything. Well, I haven't hit anything, or obviously, excuse me. I don't know how I'm trying to explain. You just gotta take. Oh my gosh. Go ahead and hit that like button for me, guys. Just make sure, I keep repeating myself. My apologies. Look, it parks the same as a 1500. Just take a couple more seconds. Look out your mirrors. You'll be perfectly fine. You should always look out your mirrors, though. I don't know why I'm saying stupid stuff right now. It is bigger, but it's just as daily drivable. If you guys haven't realized I'm stupid by now, you guys definitely just did. Another thing I was potentially concerned about was maintenance. Obviously diesels are a bit more expensive, but we have a warranty to 100,000 miles on this truck. By the time 100,000 miles are up, we shouldn't have an issue having money saved up to fix any repairs, if not buy a new truck by then. And then on top of that, oil changes are more expensive, but they recommend doing them every 15,000 miles. And by the time you even out how often you do gas oil changes, or cars that run on gasoline compared to the diesel, the price evens out. We gotta do full fuel filters and stuff on this, but I think it's well worth it for my enjoyment, at least, because I like the truck a lot more. It brings me more smiles than the 1500 did, and as well, it's more capable. And although we haven't towed in it yet, once we start towing with it, it should be a night and day difference, and I believe it will be. All right, guys, so I don't want to make this video too long. It's just an initial ownership review. I've had no issues with the truck. I'm in love with it. I don't regret my decision, even though I probably shouldn't have made the decision in the first place. I made it anyways. I think I'm definitely gonna keep this truck very long term. We're about to start the first round of mods on it, coming soon. We got our first channel sponsorship, or I guess social media sponsorship, a conglomerate, is that the right word, of all my social medias. I reached out to a company. They agreed to work with me, so I want you guys to know that before it comes up. They didn't reach out to me. I'm not receiving money in return. I still had to pay for the product partially, but it's a product I really wanted for this truck. It's a great company. I reached out to them. They agreed to work with me, so be on the lookout for that. I just wanted to make this video real quick on our initial ownership. I'm not very informative because it's from my opinion, my point of view. I'm loving the truck so far. I don't regret the purchase. If you guys are even considering getting a 2500 or F250 or Silverado or something of the sorts, a 3/4 ton or 1 ton, if you guys need the capabilities, definitely get it. But if you just want it, I don't think you'll regret it either, because I wanted it and I'm loving it. That's kind of cheesy, but it is what it is. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure to hit the subscription button if you like anything automotive related. So we got a lot of cool content coming, and we'll see you guys in the next one.